Good day, everyone. This is Diego Damuna speaking. Thanks a lot for stopping by my YouTube channel. In the previous video, as we've seen, we managed um, to construct this software with you. We were able to create uh, the form that deals with the users. We also create a form that we could be able to register new users within the database so we can be administrated into the business. And also we were able to create the form that deals with the registration of the employees. Remember, this is what we've done. And so basically these are the things that we did. And the next step was about to use the informations of the employee and to be able to create a job card within the company. So let me show you a job card, how it should be. So this is the job card that we're going to be is taking. Sorry, this should not be the one. I should supposed to click here on new and then new job card. All right, so this is the job card that we have to be editing. On this job card, we'd like the informations about the sales representatives, the technician who are going to perform the job, because this is a cleaning company. So by dropping down here, you can see the items that this company offer to clients when it comes to cleaning. It might be office chair, or it can be ottoman, it can be cushions and so many items. So for these items to be cleaned, we need a technician. All right. Also, the company also sells some products. You know, so this is basically what this job card editing form will be about. So it will be about making a job card to be sent to a client for a particular job to be done. you know but for it to be done, we need to, as I said, to have a sales representative, the technicians who will go there, and the items within the database which we can be able to clean. These items must be already found in the database. And also the consumables or product that the company are selling to people must also be into the database. So, but for us to be able to create these, to make use of this editing job card, of this form that handles the job card, prior to this form, there are few things that we need to do first for us to be able to manipulate data on this job card. So the things that I am referring to these four forms that I'm going to, actually three forms. I mean, it this form here. So first of all, this form, um, uh, in this form, we can find the items that uh, we can, offer to clients. Yeah, a client might need his office chairs to be cleaned. So on this interface here, we'll be inserting different items. It can be office chair, it can be let me search through this one, it can be leather couches, it can be with what is one, I think this one should be mattresses, it can be mattress and so forth. And it comes with the code that identifies that article, that items, and the designation of that items, and obviously the unit price. So we have to build this form here, which will help us to save the items into the database. And after building this form, we also have to build this form here. Well, no, this one is not important for the purpose of this tutorial. I'm talking about consumables. We also have to be able to create a form that will be handling the consumables. So by consumables, I'm talking about, let me just drop down here. I'm gonna click on this one, then search. So consumables, I'm referring to the product. So this company, not only they do the cleaning job, but they also sell some product to the company which are related to the cleaning side. So this BioRedeem, it's one of the if I'm not mistaken, one of the soap that they use to disinfect and so forth. I'm not specialized on that. on that anyway. It was just something that I was, trying to pull out so that you can be able to understand. So anyway, so we have to create consumables, which are products that the client can buy from the company. Uh, Besides the items and consumables, we also have to be able to qualify workers within the business as, to qualify them as, for example, being technician. Someone is registered between the company, but you have to give those some qualification to, or some tasks to those employees. So an employee who has been registered, who has been inserted, who has been or has been hired within the business, that employee might be a technician, because for a job to be clean to at the company, at the client space, we need to send a person which will have the responsibility of him being or her being a technician to go do the job. Thus, we need a form that will help us creating new technicians. Obviously, a technician is an employee, but who has the tasks of being a technician within the business. So, despite having technician, we also have some people who are going to be sales representative. For instance, to do the editing of the job card, it has to be done by one of the sales representatives. So this form here, named cells, this is the form that will help us inserting the cells without inserting the cells into the database. So let me get an overview to see if I'm okay. All right. So once we got items, once we got the interface, that the form that helps us inserting items, and once we got an interface or a form that helps us inserting the consumables, and once we got the interface that helps us inserting the technician, and the one that helps us inserting the sales representative into the database. So once we got all these four forms, that is when we will be able to edit the job card. Let me get the job card here. All right, so on the job card, as you can see, we will need sales representative, we will need the technician, we will need the this is the the items. This is the items. No, sorry. This is the items, and we also need the consumables. So we can see all the four form that we spoke about are used for the job card to be edited, for the job card to be established. All right. So I'm saying that we have to create the four forms which I showed you previously. And after creating those four forms, that is when we now have to create this last, not the last form, but for now, this form for editing a job card. So now we're going to do the job. We're going to start creating those four forms, and then we're also going to create this form here. So let me take you through what we need to do. Thank you. So let's start with inserting a new form, which we will call form cells. So I'm going back to Visual Studio, and then I come to project. Project, adding Windows form. I click on it. All right, so here it is, Windows form. Let me get how I'm going to call it. We're going to call it FM cells. So I'm just going to copy it and then get back to Visual Studio. Then let me name it FM cells, and I click on add. Here it is. It's an empty form, as you can see. So the name property of this form is FM cell. All right, let me check about the text. We're going to call it cell. Anyway, there's no any text here, so I can just make it blank here. Let me get to text property. I'll make it empty. Sorry, let me get back there. All right, I'll do this. Then it's empty there. So for the design, I want it to look like this. For cells, it's gonna have 3 different labels and 1 combo box and 2 text box and 4 buttons. There will be the button for inserting the informations for the cells and for canceling, for searching, and the one for quitting this interface. So there'll be 3 different labels, 1 combo box and 2 text box and 4 buttons. So let me go to toolbox, label. Okay, I'm just going to copy. There we go. Now we have, let me do this. All right. So we have 3 labels here, and there's to be, text box, 3 text box as well. Just copy and paste. All right, button, 4 button. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste. All right, so I'm going to do the design in the meantime. So to make the video short, I'm going to spare you from making the design. Then I'm gonna pause the video while you start making the design because I wanna reproduce exactly this for me for cells. All right, how tiny it is, how small it is with this button here. So I'm just gonna pause the video and then um, design this getting a design of this form. So this form here, I have to design it so it can look like this. So I'm gonna get a view. I'm gonna get some units to get it, and let me just pause the video and then I'll get back to it. Let me just pause the video, then I'll get back after I manage to get it like this. All right, so I'm done with the design of this form. That was a bit quick. So I'm done with the design of this form. Now I'm gonna go for coding. So I'm going to code the save button, canceling button, searching button, and quit button. All right, save, you can understand it about inserting the code and the name and the cell phone number of the employee. So what is going to happen is like this, that once I launch the software, then I want to register one of the employee as a cell. What I'm going to do, I have to click on this combo box, which will list the all the code that are inside the database. As we know, the code is the one that identifies an employee within the business. So I'm gonna drop list this combo box, and then I'm going to select a code that belongs to an employee. Then I'll go to search. It will retrieve the information from the database. It will display it here on the form, on these zones here, on these these 2 text box. And once I realize that this is the person I want to save as cells within the business, I'll come click on save. And once I click on save, that person will be registered or will be inserted into the database as someone who saving the responsibilities as being one of the cells within the business, so that when we'll be doing the job card, we're going to make use of that person as one of the cells. All right, So that is how it's going to work. So let's go for it. First of all, I have to create a data. I have to go to my database, create a table which will be called cells. All right. So to make things simple, I already added some of the tables here which are going to be used on the system here. So I already added the tables here. So this table on its database is going to be called cells. So this is the name of the table. Let me try to open it. Let me go to design. All right, you can see this table here has got three properties. It's got code, name, and the cell phone number. So the code will be called from the employee table, and then the system will, on Microsoft Visual Studio side, is going to display the name and the cell phone number of this employee. And then once we save that, those informations will come here on this table called cells. So the table is already created. Let's now go for uh, let now let now go for let now go for putting the code for saving or inserting button. Let me double click on it. So I'm gonna go for putting code here for us to be able to handle it. So to make things easier, I already create the source code for this table here. The technician for cells. There we go. So this is the one. I'm going to use this source code here for us to be handling cells form. All right, so I'm going to start with creating a connection here. I'm going to create a connection and declare uh, uh, some stuff that we have to, I would say some variables, the one that will help us to handle the connection of the database into the system. All right, so this line here is the one that will be handling the database. So let me copy it and then go back to Visual Studio, come here. So just right below, actually above initialize components, I come here and I paste it. Just going to paste it so that can be general. But as you can see, it's underlining this here, saying that it's totally impossible to open the connection. Why? Because we did not specify the namespace. So you have to specify it so we can be able to make use of the database. That's how C# works. So I'm going to go for using take it system dot data dot SQL client. This is the one. Then semicolon. So as we make use of the namespace here, we can see those red underlining, they are gone because now the system has recognized that we are making use of this namespace here, so we can be able to use database into the system. So it's fine now. Let's now go for putting the code for save button, this one right here. All right, so I'm just going to copy it. Here it is, all this code here. Start from if and then I end with this curly bracket here. Let me copy it. I'll go back to my Visual Studio. It's this button here which I have to put the code, and I paste it. Let me save it. All right, so if you can see on this form, I got three different opponents. I got combo box, text box that will be handling the name, and cell phone number. All right, so let me get back here. We can see I also have three properties that I'll be using. Actually, this is how I name the text property for combo box. I name it CMB code, which stands for combo box for code for technician. You can see CMB code tech. All right. So when it comes to the name, this is how I name it. I name it txt name, which stands for the text that will be handling the name of the employee. And for the cell phone number, this text box here. For the property name, for the name property, I wanted to say I name it text cell phone number for the employee. So this is the meaning of this line here. Okay, let me get you through this code that we just pasted here. I'll explain to you how it works. So once you click on saving button here, there will be a condition that is going to be called first, because remember, C# is one of the it's a language, it's a programming language where when you put source code like this, it reads line after line. So it's gonna first of all start by reading this line, then it's gonna go to the second one, to the third one, until to the last one. All right. So if I launch now, it's going to call the employee form. But for now, I don't want to make use of the employee form, this one. But since I started, it's gonna call it first also, which means I have to change the uh, starter form, the form that has to be loaded first once I start the software. But now it's taking a bit of time. Let's just wait until it code. All right, so but we don't need this one for now. The form that we are looking at is the form that is called form cells. So let me change. I'm going to change the startup program so that whenever we click on start, it's not FM employee that comes or that gets loaded, but it's a FM cells that get loaded. So let me copy it, then I come to program.cs, I change it here, just paste. All right, let's now save. I'm going to start it, and it's gonna call a different form. It's gonna call definitely so easier, but let me click here. You can see nothing is happening. Basically, it was supposed to pull out the informations from the table called employee. Then it was supposed to populate this combo box here with the code for employees that are inside the database. But we can see for now we can't populate this combo box because we haven't put any codes, any source code that handles the informations, that handles the informations for us to be able to populate this combo box here with the data from the database. So what I'm going to do, let me put some code here for this combo box, or let me load this combo box with the code from the employee table. All right, let me close here. So I'll come to sorry, family design. All right, thank you. I'm going to copy. Let me double click on here, saving button. So I'm going to create a method that will help me to load this combo box here with the code from this table here for the employee. All right. Let me click on save. I'm going to create this method here. I'll say private. Sorry. Private void. Okay, I'll call it field combo code, and I put down this sorry, curly brackets. So the reason why he's making is causing this issue underlying saying this, it's because we did not respect the line. Actually, I should not use this line here to create my method. So let me just remove it. All right, so I was supposed to actually use this line here. All right, so this is gonna be the correct one. Fill combo cd, which is gonna stand for code. All right, fill combo cd. I think this time around here is gonna wait. Curly brackets, and then cool. So now to load this combo box, I already also, to make things easy, I already created a code source for it. I'm just go copy it and then paste it. Here it is, here it is. So this is the one. Just going to copy it and paste it. All right. All right. So it's saved. Just make sure that I put a correct way of writing this so we don't get any message here. All right. So this is how we're going to load our combo box. But without wasting time, I have to use this method here. Let's call this method that we created here, and then we're going to use the load event. So once this form is loaded, what is going to happen? We're going to call this method that we created here so we can be able to populate the combo box. All right, let me get back. I started. Sorry, you can see now we are able to make use of the code that are inside the database, but as for now we only got one. So we managed to get to load this combo box, to populate it with data from the database. But as for now, if we click on search, we don't get any information, because before saving someone as one of the cells within the business, that person must be displayed here. The information attached to this code, which are related to that person, must be appeared here, must be displayed here. We must get his name and his cell phone number. But as for now, we can't save it because we don't have it. So after coding the saving button, let's go for searching button so that you can be able to pull out the information from the database and then save that person as a cell. All right. So I'm gonna close here. Then I double click on search. So BTN search stands for the button that will search the information regarding the employee and save that employee as one of the cells into the business. So I already created a source code for that. Where is it? There we go. So this is the one. Let me just copy it. I'm going to copy it and yeah, I paste it here. So let me start. Then I go to select this code here. I click on search. You can see now this button is working. It's working now properly. So we just selected the code and then you click on search. It tells us that CLN01, which stands for this customer working for cleaning, which is the first customer in our database. His name is Diego and this is his cell phone number. Right? So let's save this person as cell. It's saved as one of the cells within the database. Okay. So we've managed to create the cells. So we managed to create a cell, and then let me also put some code here for this cancel button and quitting button. So for the cancel button, it's something very simple. It's all about let me go to save. I'm just going to copy these ones here. Then I go here, I put them. So it's about cleansing the zone. All right, so it's simple, it's like that. And for quitting, it's simple. It's just this dot close. Do this, sorry. All right, so we're done. We're completely done with this form here. Let's now go create the second form, which is this one for technician. how I'm going to call it, you're going to call it FM technician. So I'm just going to copy it like this, then open my Visual Studio. I go to project, new form, yeah, select form, Windows form, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, I paste it here. I click on add, so it's added. Let me remove the text property here so that it's empty. But obviously the name of this form is FM sorry, FM technician. All right, because this is the one that we just created. All right, FM technician. So FM technician, as you can see here, is the name of this form. So I'm going to do the design quickly. All right, so I'm done with the design of this form for technician, the form that will be handling the technician. So what is going to happen here is the same logic as for sales here. Or is it same logic as for sales? So once you click on this combo box, it's going to populate with the code, and you click on search. It will retrieve the information from the database, and then you will send it or will display it on this text, on this zone, on this form here, and then we can save it. All right. So first of all, let's go for um let's go for first of all let's go for loading this combo box here. All right, we're going to load this combo box with the information. So I'm gonna click on the form here. I'll create first of all let me create, I'm going to create a method which I'll call private void. I'll call it fill combo code, semicolon, curly brackets. All right, so then let me load already. I don't want to waste time. Let me load already this method that I created here once the form is loaded. All right, although for now it's not going to work because I did not put any code yet. So let me load, let me put some code here which will help us to fill the combo box here. Fill combo technician. Actually, this is how I'm supposed to call it. Let's just correct it quickly. Sorry, I'm supposed to call it like this. All right, that's fine. So let me copy source code. I copy it. I'm not going to provide so much explanation here because this is working same as for the case of cells. So I need semicolon here. That will be fine. All right. So why is underlining here? Because there's no namespace that handles the database created on this form. Let's create it first. That namespace here, I'll say, all right, using system.data.SQL clients. So this is the namespace that we have to create so we can be able to make use of database. You can see this line here disappear. So why is underlying here? Because we did not specify any connection. We did not create any connection, and we don't have any connection string here. All right. So as for the connection string, it's easy. I already created it. I'm just going to copy and paste it. It's these lines here, these guys here. Copy them. Then I go back to Visual Studio. I'll come here right above, below partial. It has to be public so we can make use of it throughout the program here. You can see those red mark, they are gone already because now we got namespace that will help us in dealing with the database, and we also got our connection string, and obviously these are the commands that will help us to deal with the database. All right, so for now, if I can start, it's going to start with this form here, but I want you to start with technician. So let me go to this one, program CS, and I came here, I change it, I put this form here. Let me start. All right, the form that we are looking for is this one. Let me try to see the combo box. Yes, combo box has been loaded with the information. We get the code here from the database. So now after managing to load or to populate our combo box, we have to search. But now this search button is not working. Okay, let's put some code here for us to search the informations. The searching button, which form is that one? Is this one. So you have to code this button here. btn search stands for the button that search the informations for the employee. All right. So source code, I already created it. Let me just copy and paste it. Where it is, there it is, here it is. So I'm gonna copy it like this. Then I come here, paste it. So let's execute it. We start. Go to select the code and then search. As you can see, it's working. So we managed um, to use this employee. But as for now, let's just save it, this employee, like sales. There's supposed to be many employees, but unfortunately, as for now, it's only one person. So it's fine. It just for demonstration, because normally one person cannot be at the same time technician, cannot be at the same time sales, or but for just for demo, that is why we are using this guy here. So let's save him. Oh, we can't save him because you did not put any source code for this button. All right, let's now put the code for the save button. So I get back to technician 4, and double click on save. It's empty. Let's get some code source for it. All right, this is the code that's handling the insertion of the informations into the database. All right, so I copy it and then I come to this button here, just going to paste it. We managed to put the source code. We must have the database created, or we must have a table called technician in our database for us to handle these things here. All right, so let me get to the database. It seems like we don't have a table called technician, so I'm going to create one table called technician. So for me not to make a mistake, let me copy the way I spell this table here. This is how I spell it. I copy that spelling. Then I go back to the database. Let me refresh this database first. I refresh it. Then I go to table, new table. All right. This table will have 3 properties, 3 columns. We're going to use 3 columns. So the first column is going to be the one for code. Yeah. So this first column here will be code. Then let me determine the data type of it. Let's give it envar 50, envar car 50. And then the second property, it's the name. So name, data type, envar car 50. Okay, it must not allow null. Then the third one, what is that? Cell phone. I copy it, I come here, I paste it. Let's also give envar car 50. But I want this one to be like a primary key. Let's set it like a primary key. All right, so this table is created. Sorry, this table, it's created, but now I have to save it. It's going to ask me to name the table. All right, how do we name it? We name it as a technician. So I do like this and then I paste it. I click on copy. All right, this table has been created. I come here. Let me refresh my database. I go to refresh. Just want to check if that table technician has been created. What it is? There we go. Let me check inside if is there any information. It basically must be empty. It is empty, but we just managed to create this table. So I'm gonna go back to Visual Studio. Now that the table has been created, let me go to try to save one person as a technician. So I'm just going to wait for it to load a little bit. All right, I select this one as search information. I click on save. Bingo. This guy here is saved as one of the technicians. Let's go to the database and search if we can find the information related to this guy here. There we go. We can see it's here. All right, so it's working properly. So the last button for this form here, which is the form technician, it's cancel and quit. So for cancel, it's easy. It's all about cleansing this area here. All right, so I'll do this. I just get these three here. I copy them. I go back. I come here. I paste it. All right. So for quitting, it's easy. I just double click and then I say, oh, sorry. I said this dot close. Sorry. Dot close. Yeah, which is good now. So let me try one more time. So I come here, I select this code, and then I search it. I click, all right, I quit. Cool. It's working. So the last form is this one for consumables. Here we'll get how many button? 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 button, 3 labels, 1 combo box, and 2 text box. So let's go add new form. We'll call this form FM consumables because I've already explained to you, I think, the meaning of these consumables here. All right. So we're going to add one of the form, then we call it FM consumable. I paste it. All right. This is how we're going to call it. It's a Windows form, and I edit. Let me remove this text here. Sorry. That's empty. I save it. So I want this form to look like this. One more time, I'm going to spare you from designing because the design depends on you, especially if you are following me. You can design as you wish, but as for me, my design was like this, so I don't want to waste your time. I'm going for designing this form here, this one, to look exactly like this one. So here we can do one more thing. Apart from saving, searching, we can cancel, we can update, we can delete, we can get back to menu, or we can just quit the form. All right, so we're going to put the code for all these buttons here. It's very easy. First of all, let's go for loading this combo box here. So to load the combo box, I have to create a method. Let me go to no, let me first of all create this method here, private void, I say fill combo code. All right, and I come here, some okay, this is how it's going to be. So let me refer to it. So regarding the code, the source code for that button, I already created the source code for consumables. So regarding the combo box, where it is, all right, here it is. So I name it fill combo console. Let me just use this calling here. um, like this. All right. All right. Combo. Sorry. I'm going to paste it. All right. Okay. Then I'm gonna use this method here once the form is loaded. Cool. So let me put the code. The code is this one. There's not much information, there's not much explanation here because we are just referring as for the previous the two previous button that we just created, the two previous forms we just created. So here it's underlining because the connection is not recognized. We did not create any namespace and any we did not put any connection string. Let's use the namespace here using system.data.SQL clients. Sorry. All right. Now we're going to add our connection string. What is our connection string? This one. Yeah. This is our connection string. I'll come here where it is. Yeah. Sorry. There's a mistake. I gotta paste it here. No. Yeah. Paste it. Okay. I can see it's no longer underlining in red. Okay. So let's make this form to start once we click on. So I'm going to make this form to start first once we click on start. So this form is going to be called first, is going to be loaded first. I go to programs, yes, I'm changing. I put this form here. Let me launch. So we are done the design of the form that we called consumables that will deal with the product that will be that the company will be selling to the customers. So we try to start. I'm gonna try to do something here. So I'm just waiting for the software to start. Seems like it's you see it throws an exception. So the message says that system.data.SQL clients.SQL exceptions. It says that invalid object name consumables. So they are referring to this guy here, to this table. That means that Visual Studio could not make a connection between the database with Visual Studio, particularly the connection to the table code consumables. Why? Because in our database there is no a table code or a table named consumables. Let me open my database. So this is our database here. We can see there is no a table that is named consumables. That is the reason why Visual Studio is throwing this exception, right? So how do we handle this exception? Well, it's very easy. Let's create a table in our database, and then we're going to call that table consumables, right? So let me close the program here. I copy it. So I'm going to copy the way that I'm gonna call this table here because I just want to avoid a mistake, and then I'll go create a table, right? So the table that I'm going to create, I'm gonna call it consumables, and this table will have three properties or three attributes. So it's gonna have a code, a description, a unit price. right? Let me go on creating that table. I come to my database here, and then I click on, sorry, table, right click, new tables. So the first one is this one, code. The second one is description, and the third one is unit. Oh, sorry, must not be a space here. Unit price. So here for the code, I'm gonna give it nvarchar 50, and description nvarchar 50. I think that will be fine. And price, let me also give nvarchar 50. That will be fine. So none of these none of these columns here will allow null, so they have to be filled with information. All right, that's why I should not allow. So none of them must allow null. They have to be filled with information. All right, let me check the spelling here, the way I spell them. It is here. All right, so it's called, oh, it's not, it's a capital letter and small letter. Just going to throw an exception here because they have to match. Sorry, I think for description also must be like that. Description and this price. Actually, let me go to the code source, to the source code, just to see the way I wrote them. So code is like this. It is, all right. Yeah, I think that's how it has to be. All right, that's correct. So unit price. Cool. So let me, okay, this table is going to be called consumables. I'm just going to save it so we can create the name of the table. I paste it here. All right, so the table has been created. Let me quit here. For now, we can't see it because this page here has to be refreshed. Where is it? Consumables. There we go. It has been created. Let me check. All right, so we got our table called consumables. So let me go start Visual Studio. As for now, it's not going to throw an exception because when the connection string establish connection between the Visual Studio to the database is going to found a table called consumables because we have already created it. So an exception must not be thrown. All right, click on start. Go ahead. There we go. There is no more exception thrown because now the system, it's recognized that there is a table called consumables into our database. All right, so that is good. Let me try to click. Oh, I can't do a search. I can't do a search because there is no any data into the database. Because for me to search a particular code, we have to create those code that will be attached or that will identify a product or consumables within the database, and that code also will identify the price, the unit price of that particular uh, product. So for now, I have to put the code for this button here, for the saving button, for the button for insertion of the information into the database, so that once we manage to save some product here in the database, and then we can be able to click on combo box, which will load the codes that are inside the database, and then you can do an eventual a possible research, and to do, you can either update or delete or so on. So for now, we have to first be able to save some data into the database. So I have to put the code that will handle this button here. Let me close here. So the code I already created it. So this is the code for saving button. I'm just going to copy it just to make things easier. Let me get back to the interface, then I double click on the button code save, and I'm just going to paste this code here. So it's too long. Let me try to go to the next line just to make it visible so you can be able to see what is written here. All right, so by clicking on the saving button, you're going to be able to insert um, into our database, particularly to the table called consumables. What are we going to save? We're going to insert the code, the description, and the unit price. But there's something here because I remember when I created my database. Let me try to open here. This is how I named this field here, unit price. So it's got it unit hyphen and price. But here on my Visual Studio, there's no hyphen, so it's going to throw an exception. It's going to catch it because it will not match. So to avoid this mistake, let me also put a hyphen here. All right, that's going to correspond. I think that it's fine. Let me try to launch the software. It launched. Still, it can't load because there's nothing in our database. But let's say this product has got like code B, bio. So the description of this product is bio redeem. That's how we call it. Unit price is 120 rand. So let me go click on save. It's saved into our database. Now let me check if we got any products. See now, there's no way for us to see the product that we just, to see the code that we just created because the page is not refreshed after the insertion operation has been done. So this combo box is not refreshed, or the form is not refreshed after the insertion operation has been done. So what I'm going to do here is this. I close the program. I come to combo box. This is the combo box here. So let me copy the method that I created. Then I'm going to paste it after the insertion is done. Is the saving button. Yeah, this is saving button. So once you click on save, and then it saves all the data from the interface into the database, particularly into the table called consumables. And then what must be happened is that the combo box must be refreshed so we can see instantly the informations or the code that you just created by selecting combo box. All right, so by putting this line here, I'm forcing the software to load combo box after the insertion has been done. Let me go to start. I think now we'll be able to see. You see, this is the first code that you created, but we were not able to search it right after creation, after insertion. Let me go for the second product. So the code of this product is going to say is, let's say, Rencon deep sea. Okay, all right, deep sea. So the description is deep cleaning. Sorry, deep cleaning. This is how we're going to call this product, deep cleaning. How much it cost? It cost, let's say, 40 rand. Then I click on save. But by clicking on combo box, it has to list also the products that we just created now. Can you see? It listed it quickly because of this line here, because of putting this method that we created right away after inserting the product into our database. So by putting this line here, it's forcing the software to load instantly our combo box. Let me go for the our combo box. Let me go for the third product. Let's call this STR. SRT stand for Sterigel. All right, how much? 50 rand. I save it. Uh, the other products, how do I call it? These are the chemical traffic lane. Let's say traffic. All right, description it's traffic lane. All right, how much? 450. I save it. Once I click on combo box, it's going to list up all the product that we just created. We see. So let's select bio and click on search. For now, it's not um, sending the information um, on our interface on this form just because there's no code here. We did not put any code here for this button to handle the search. So let's go put code here for the searching button so you can see. Just go to close it, and then so the button that you have to put source code is this one. I double click on it. So this is this button, BTN research. I have to put some source code there. So, but I already created them, don't worry. Where is it? Searching button here. Yeah, here it is. So I'm just going to copy it and then paste it. Till I go for it. Start it. I go to search. I select bio. I click on research. There it is. It works. Let me go for another product, deep clean, which will stand for deep cleaning. I can see. Let me go for STR. I think this one is Sterigel. So you can see this is the code that identifies the product, and this is the description of that product, and this is the unit price pay product, right? So let's go. So for now, we've done the research button, we've done the save button. Cancel, we did not do it, we'll do it, and then we have to do the update, the delete. All right, these are the major. So let me go for update button. It is, this is the one. No, sorry, for cancel first of all. So cancel is very easy. I'm just gonna refer from the saving button. You know, yeah, after you save, you have to clear the zone. So I'm gonna take this one, I copy them, and I come back here, I click on paste. It's gonna work. Let's go for quit. Quit, it's very easy. We say this, sorry, this dot close. That done. So let's go also try to make fast. Let's go for updates. Update here. I also have a source code for updates. Where it is, here it is. I'm just going to copy it and paste it. I'm not going to waste time here because we know all the procedure. All right, so I think everything is fine here. Let me just go to the second line here. Right, so you can be able to see everything. I think this is fine, but I have to rectify here because on my database there's a hyphen between unit and price here, whereas on my um, source code I did not put hyphen. So for now, if I can execute and try to use this button, it's gonna throw an exception. Why? Because the way I spell here on my Visual Studio is not matching what is on my on my SQL Server Management Studio, so it has to match so it can work. Let me fix it. So I'll go here, put a hyphen between the unit and price. Yeah, right, fine. All right, let me go start. So we're going to operate some CRUD operation. CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. So we have already created. Let's try to read. Okay, we're going to read here. So let's try to update. Instead of uh, this product costing 450, let's try to say that it was supposed to cost, or maybe it should cost 300. All right, and then you click on updates. All right, it disappears. So let's make sure. Let's try to check if we really managed to change it from 450 to 300. Definitely it's working. All right, so now that we got three different forms, there is one more form that we need to create for us to do the job card. So just to recap, we have the one for sales, the one for technicians, and the one for consumables. We have got to create the one that will be handling the articles or the products or the items of the company. By items, I'm referring to, remember this is a cleaning company, so by items I am referring to, for instance, mattresses, for instance, office chairs. So the cleaning of mattresses, the cleaning of office chairs, the cleaning of, for instance, leather couches, the cleaning of material couches, you know, carpet. It can be loose carpet or fixed carpet. So these are the items that the company, as cleaning company, are getting cleaned at client's place. All right, so that means that we must create an interface or a form that will be handling the items. So we're going to save our items using that interface so we can be able to make use of them here on the job card form. All right, so let me quickly show you the fourth interface that you have to create for us to be able to save the items into the database, and you can to use them by making job card. So this is the interface that you have to create. So in this interface, we'll be giving the code for an item, and then the designation of that item and the unit price of that item. Because let's say a carpet, a fixed carpet, uh, we we do the, I mean, this company clean a fixed carpet in terms of square meter. For instance, they will say 1 square meter uh, cost 20 rand, for instance. So we have to know the name of that articles, the code of it, and the designation of it, and the unit price, so that if maybe it's 20 square meter, you're just going to take 20, you times it by 20 for 20 rand, you times it by square meter, and then you get the answer. How do you do that? Well, we need a form that will be handling the items. So like as a recap, we need a form for consumables, we need form for technician, we need form for sales. So once we have these four forms here, once we got these four forms here, we know that we got sales who's going to do the job card. We have the items that we're going to pull from the job card to from the database to establish a job card. We got technicians that we can send out to do the job, and we have products or consumables that we can send, you can sell to clients if they need. If we have these three forms, that will help us to create a job card. That will help us to create a job card. All right, so far we have done for consumables, for technician, and for sales. Let's now go on creating a form that will be handling the items for this company. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly close this program here, then I'll launch my Visual Studio. I'm in Visual Studio now. So this one was for consumable. Let me just put a label here to avoid confusion. It's a label. I gotta put it here. So I'll just, sorry, I'll just name it, how do I name it? Consumables. All right, consumables. Cool. Now you can see at least it makes sense because it was blank. Good. So let now going on creating a form that we'll call FM items. All right, because the code, the source code for that form will be this one. So this is how we're going to call this form, FM items. I'm just going to copy it because I don't want to make a mistake while I'm adding another form here. So I'm going to project and add a new Windows form. So this is the new Windows form here for C#. Let me name here because by default it is going to be called form1, but I don't want it to be called form1 to avoid confusion. I need to put a name that will be significant. All right, so I call it FM items. Then I click on add. As for now, you can see it's um, an empty form, but I want it to look like this. This is how I want it to look. So I'm going to quickly build this form here by using my Visual Studio. So I'm gonna pause the video just to not to make this video long. I'm going to go for designing this form. Once the design is done, I'll get back and to put some coding there. So the form here, as you can see, is done. Let me get you through the database because in the meantime also I created I've added this table here named items1 that will be in connection with my form. So once I save the information here from my form, they'll go straight to the database, and particularly in the table called items1. So I already created this table just to make things quick. All right, so it's got three different properties. It's going to be having code designation and unit price. All right, that's how it's going to be. So once I go to my form, I also go into the table that will be working with this form. Let me now go putting some code to do the work for this form here. So I already created the source code for this for this form here. The first thing to do, I'm gonna put a connection string that will help us to deal with data. So I click on the form here, come straight below public partial clause. That's why I'm going to paste it. That's why I'm going to paste it. But we can see that it's underlined because there's no the namespace that deals with the database. I'm just going to create quickly using system.data SQL client. SQL client. This is the one. And then I put semicolon there. You can see it's no longer handling. It's no longer red underlying because there is already a namespace that handle namespace system that handle the connection with the database. All right, so as for now, the connection to the database has been created because of this connection string. All right. The next step, let me get back to the form. I want to load this combo box here, but I can't load this combo box here because the use of this combo box is to pull the code that are inside the table and then display them on this combo box here. But as for now, the table, as you can see here, is still empty. So there's no way I can pull any information and sending them onto this combo box. So that is going to be useless. First of all, I have to create those data into the database. That is, I have to put a code on this saving button here and then save some informations, and then we'll be able to pull out the code from the database. So let me go on this on this button here. I'm just going to double click it. This button is called btn save, which stands for button that saves the informations into the database. All right, so let me go to my source code. It's about saving information, so it's about this button here. Just going to copy this code, the source code that I already created, then I paste it here for this button. I paste it on this button here. So the line is a bit long. Let me try to make it short so it can become clean. Cool. So now it's short here. All right, like this. It makes sense because it was too much long there. It was too long. So on this code here, I'm opening my connection. Then this is the query. I'm telling Visual Studio that I want to insert code destination unit price into the database, particularly in the table called items one. All right, so it's gonna get the information from the combo box on the text there, text box that's under the destination, and the one for unit price. Once we get them, then we're going to save them here. Okay, let me start now. I try to insert some of the informations here on this FM item Windows form. So let me put it in the middle. Code, let's say this one, it's how do you say, bio, for instance. It stands for, its designation is bio redeem, right? How much? Let's say it's 100 rand per unit. I click on save. We can say it's disappeared. Let's just try to see if it went into the database. Come here. It's loading. There we go. We can see we just managed to add one product or one item. Actually, it wasn't supposed to be this one because this is not consumables. I was supposed to put the items like carpets, loose carpets, or fixed carpets, chairs, yeah. But anyway, let me leave it there. It's fine. So I get back to my software. Then I say CP, which stands for carpet. Let's say loose carpets. LCP, it stands for loose carpets. Right? Loose carpets. Right? So loose carpets, let's say it's 200 per unit. I click on save. The second one, it's CP, which stands for carpet. So that's going to be a fixed one. So the fixed carpet is cleaned by Metasquare. So let's say let's first of all give a designation of it. So that is carpet. Carpet. Per square meter we charge let's say 120, for instance. Then I click on save. So let me go to database and try to check if these data are inside my table. You see, there they are. So they are inside here. But I'm not gonna consult my my database like this. I have to get these information onto my screen on my Visual Studio, actually on my interface. So now for me to get the codes that are inside database, I have to load this combo box here. How do I load this? Well, it's simple. Let me close here. We're just going to do what we have done for the three previous forms. So I come here. I'm going to create a method. I'll say private void. I'll say field combo. Field combo. What is this for? Field combo item. Right. And I put, sorry, I put semicolon, no, curly brackets. Then I have to put the code here that will load the combo box with the code from the database. So I got already my source code that I created for that. I'm just going to copy and paste it. All right, fill combo. All right, I paste this there. All right, this is how I'm supposed to call it. Fill combo items. All right, so let me now make use of this method on my load form event, so that whenever this form is loaded, and then I have access to my database, right? Let me execute. Then, all right, I click on combo box. You can see combo box now is loaded with the data into the database. All right. Let me do one more thing here. So I'm going to take this the method that I created and then paste it after the insertion event is done, after the insertion operation is done. Why? Because after inserting the informations into my database, my combo box must be refreshed so that I can in real time check the code that I just came to save into the database. So that's why the combo box must be refreshed just right after the informations are saved into the database. That is the reason why of making the use of method created below this code here. So far we managed to load our combo box, we managed to save the data. Let's now try to clean the components. All right, I'll double click on console. The easiest thing to do is just to copy these lines here, which clears the component after you've done inserting, or after you click on cancel, it's going to clear the component. All right, so what is left is update, delete, and getting back to menu and quit. Okay, let me make quickly the code for the button that helps us to quit. So it's gonna be this dot close. Sorry, dot close. All right, now I have to put a code for update button. So I already created those code. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Update, here it is. I copy it to here. Then I'm going to paste it. Sorry, I'm going to paste it here, and I save it. Get back to my form. Let me now put the code for the delete button. Delete button. I have the source code that I already created for it, and I'm just going to copy it. I copy it and I paste on the delete button here. It starts. First of all, I'm going to, well, as for now, I have to also put the code for searching button, because for now, if I can select a product, I can search, I cannot retrieve it, I cannot display it on my screen. So since I cannot display it, there's no way for me to delete. There's no way for me to update, neither to delete. So let me first put the code for searching button. So the searching button is this one. I have code for it. Let me go fetch it. Or is it? Yeah, there it is. I'm just going to use this code here and I paste it. I'm going to save it and then I start my software. All right, let me select one of the product. I search it. Yes, it's working properly. Let me try to modify the price. Let's say it's not 100 Rand, but it's 120. I click on update. it's gone. But I think if I have to look for it, it's not going to be, it's not going to show 120. Let me check. Oh, definitely it works. That's good. So it's working properly. It's working fine. So let's try with the delete button. Let's try to delete bio. Click on delete, right? So I'm gonna try to check if that bio is still there. I'm gonna try to check if you can see bio is no longer there. It just disappeared. So which means it's fine now. It's working properly. But after deleting the a given data from the database, we have to refresh also our our combo box just to avoid any mistake. All right. So I'm just going to copy this method here for the combo box. Then I'll put it here after both, for searching, after searching a button so that the combo box can be refreshed, and after deleting anything from the database, the combo box must be refreshed as well. And after updating, this combo box must be refreshed as well, right? Yeah, let's also put here. Then we know that combo box is refreshed. All right. Yeah, I think it's fine. That is good. So for now, there is one more thing that we need to do for this uh, for this Windows form that deals with the item. So as you can see, for the unit price, we have to block it from receiving any other string, from receiving any other characters that is different from being a digit. So by digits, I mean this zone here, this text box must only accept digit that is from 0 to 9. From 0 to 9, these are the digits that can be accepted here. So we have to make use of the key press event so that we block access to any other letters or special characters or special symbols. They must not be accepted here. The only characters that must be accepted here are numbers from 0 to 9. Any other thing, this zone here will not going to be accessible to it. So how do you go for that? Well, you have to select the text box because we only need the digits here. Then I come here on the event. I scroll down, I'm looking for key press. Just looking for key press here. Let me go up there and then I'm gonna start doing down like this. Looking for key press events. Where is it? Key press. Alright, I double click on it. Then it opens here, the key press event. So I'm going to put some code here so we can block this text box from receiving any other thing than digits. All right, so let me copy the text box that deals with the key press. It's from here and then it's here. So I copy it. I'm going down here, then I'm looking for key press events. There it is. All right, I paste it, then I save it. So let me start. I'll try to make something else than a digit on this text box. Let me put, for instance, S. As for now, I'm clicking on S, but there's no reaction. I'm clicking on D as letter. There's no reaction. I'm trying to put plus as a sign or equal. It's not working. But once I put 1, it works. Once I put 0, it works. Once I put 9, it works. So it only allows me to put digit here. All right. So that's the use of key press, because this is going to deal with money. So with money, we must be clear. There is nothing else that must be accepted here than digit or number. All right. So I click on cancel to clean the text box. So far we managed to create our item, our form that deals with the items. Now that we've done that, so we got items one more time. We got consumables. We got technician. We got sales. Once we have these 4 forms, then we are good to go for making a job card, right? For making this job card here. So now we are going to make this job card. So I have to add one more uh, Windows form for it to be a job card. So a job card must look like this. I'm going to create a job card that look exactly like this. All right. So I go to project, add Windows form. So this is the Windows form for Visual Studio C Sharp. For Visual C Sharp, I'm going to call this form FM job card. I just copy this spelling here. All right, let me rename this form from form 1 to actually FM job card. Then I click on add. So here, the empty form here. Let me remove this text here. All right. So I'm going to design this. I'm going to take this form here and make the design on this form so that it can look exactly like this. I'm already done designing this form here, the one that's really handling the job card. So I'm done with the design, as you can see it. Now, first of all, let me show you how it's going to work. I'm going to open the real software, the one that is running already. So when you click on job card, you go to this interface. So you can see the first thing I would like to be done on this job card that I'm about to, which I already uh, finished the design, that I want to put some code so it can start working. So first of all, the first thing I would like this job card to do is to give me the code of this job card, because throughout the software or throughout the database, each and every single job card must have a number which will identify it in the, the database. So that number will be called JC, which stands for job card, right? So the number of that job card or the ID of that job card must appear here. That ID must appear here, as you can see. You can see here that number must appear here. This number will be unique to this job card. It will identify it. And the second thing to do, on this text box here, I'd like to see real time the dates where I'm making a job card. I'd like to say today's date, for example, and the time I'm making that job card there. So the first thing to do is to display on my form for job card the job card number, the date, and the time. All right. So let me go for it then. Then I must double click on the form, any place, in any empty place of the form. So this is form load, but I don't want that now. Let me go for, first of all, let me try to use dates so I can display it on the text box. All right. So I got the form, I got the source code here, which I already created. That is going to handle the dates, the time is this one. So this is the code that I created already to make use of date and time. So I'm just going to copy it. I copy this code here and I open it. Let me get back to the form. So the thing that will help me to make a display and to make them run, to make display the time and the date, is one of the tools called a timer. So I already put it by the time I was designing this form. If you don't know how to get it, it's easy. Just go to toolbox, you type timer, then you'll see it here. But as for now, I'm not going to click on it because I already get it. I got it already on the screen. So if you are not having it, you can get one here, and then you place it. You see, you get one here, and then you just paste it. Let me do this. This two, I'm going to take it off because I don't want it. I have one already. So once you go to your timer as one of the components, you go to there, and then the code that has to be inside the timer is this one. I'm going to copy it. Then you double click on timer. Then you paste that code. Okay, let me try to save it and then click on start. You see, as for now, nothing is going to happen. I knew it, nothing is going to happen because we just declare it, but we did not make it use so that when we launch this form, then it got executed. So how do I go for it? Well, that is simple. I have to go to events, load, the loading event for this page here, for this form. Yeah, this form here, I have to put some code here. So those codes, they are already here, already make them available. It's this one. Just going to copy them and paste them there. Paste that you see is going to display both time and date. Can you see here? So the dates and time now, they got displayed on this text box. So next up, I want to display the code that will identify one job card here on this text box. How do I go for that? Well, let me close here. First of all, before doing that, because it's about dealing with database. So it's about dealing with database. So I have to go to my database and create a table which I will call job card. But while I was doing the design of my form for the job card, I already designed it because it's a table that got so many properties in it. So I didn't want to make so many time by recording while making it. So I already made it. Let me show. So this is the table, right? So these are the properties that will be dealing on our database where we can save the information from this form here to that database. As I was saying, because having a job card number has to deal with the database, that means that we must create our connection string so we can deal with database. All right, so that is simple. Let me open the coding parts. I'll come to this line here, the first line. I'll start using the space name, using system dot data dot SQL client. I close it like this. You can see now it's great because it's not used yet. But once we start putting some information here, it's going to be highlighted. So we just declare it, but we did not make use of it. So let's go for that. I'm going to put the connection string. Connection string is this one here. So this is the connection string. Sorry, this first line is the connection string that I created. Then I come here on below public partial class. That's why I'm going to paste my connection string. Paste it. You see, after pasting this connection string, this line now is highlighted, meaning that now we are making use of it by making this connection string. All right, but remember, we've opened our database. Actually, we've connected our database to the form because we want to deal with the number that will identify the a particular job card. So that number has to be a number which is given in automatic way. That is, you have to create an auto ID that will be assigned to a job card, and then that ID given in automatic way will identify the job card throughout the program. All right. So how do you go for that? Well, let me just give you some code. I'll paste some code for that. First of all, I have to copy this line here, the one that will help us dealing with the auto incrementation of the ID. So I paste it and I open my Visual Studio. I open the coding port. Just right here after opening my connection string, I have to paste this code here so that it can be public. So I already declared the variable which I'm going to be using. Let me try to explain to you the two variable expression that I just created here. You can see say string code JC. JC stands for job card, and then double var stand for value uh, 50. So I want to create an auto ID which will have the string or the letters mixed with double or the digits. So let's say, for instance, first job card will be called JC01. So on JC01, we got JC, which is string, which are letters, and 01 is a number. All right. So for me to use them, I have to first of all declare them here. So the variables are declared. Let me now go get the code that will generate the auto ID. Here it is. I already created it. So let me copy. Just going to copy the code. Then I go to my Visual Studio. Let me get back here. I'm gonna go down. I have to create a method which I'll call private void auto ID. Private, sorry, private void auto ID. All right, and then in this method, I'm going to paste the code that I created. All right, so the variable, the method is created. After this method is created, that's when we can be able to make use of ID. So let's get back to our coding. Once we finish with this code, uh, for this method to be effective, I have to copy it and paste it on the form for loading events. Semicolon. That's when it's going to get effect. Let me start. Sorry. There we go. So we managed to create an ID for this job card. As I said, it's called the ID that will identify this. The first job card will be JC01. That stands for job card number 1, the first job card. That's the meaning of this code. And the second one will be JC, obviously, 02. So for now, we managed to make the incrementation for the ID of the job card. We created also code that will allows us to get the date and the time. Let's now move on. So for moving on here, before moving on, we have to make use of the cells, because the one who's going to be handling the job card is one of the cells representative. So that cell must, by clicking on this combo box, must have his or her name displayed here, and then select it to identify that he's the one who makes this job card. All right. So we have to load this combo box here with the information regarding the cells that are inside our database. Besides the cells, we also get we could also have to get the name of the technician here. So we're not going to type it, but we will select it. We'll select the information regarding the technician from the database already. And if there are some consumables that we need to sell to the customer, we don't need to type them. We can just select that consumables, and then we click on search. It's going to give us the information regarding that consumable, and then we're going to declare the quantity of that and then we go to find a total here. Not only that, also the items of for that job. So if the customer need for instance the carpet to be clean, we have to get that carpet listed here, and then obviously knowing the amount of the carpet, and then we find the total. So next step to do after making a job card number, date and time, we have to put some code so we can be able to see the name of the cells, the name of the technicians, the name of the items that are inside the database, and the names and the value of the consumables, right? Because remember, we created four different forms, the one for sales, the one for technician, the one for items, and the one for consumables. So we have to make use of those cells, of those form, of those data that are inside the database already. So I'm going to now putting the code so we can make use of those data from the database. All right, let me do this. So the first thing to do, I want to put code for this combo box here. I'm going to load it with the informations from the database. But as for this case, the data that I'm going to retrieve from the database will not come from the table called job card. No, it's about cells. So this data must come from the table called cells. All right. So let me go for it then. I have the code already, which I already created for cells. So this one, which means I have to load the combo box named cells with the data coming from the table named cells, and then those code will go um, sorry, those name, the name of the cells will go into the combo box that we just selected there. So let me copy the code that will help us to load this combo box with the data from cells database. So let me click on this form here, and for it to be done nicely, I must create a method. Sorry, let's say that method will say it's gonna be like this: private void field combo. Field combo, which one is this? Field combo cells. All right, so I'm going to paste the data that we just the code I wanted to say that we just that's already created. So let me paste those code here. So just a quick explanation here for these lines here. I'm pulling the code, the name of the cells, all the cells name that are inside the table code cells, and they're going to be displayed on this combo box once I click on it. All right. So without wasting time, I have to copy this. Things wrong here. So this one's not supposed to go down there. Cool. I have to copy this method that I just created and then paste it on the load event of the form. Semicolon. So I don't waste time. All right. I don't waste time. Let me try to launch the software. And click on cell. As you can see, so there is only one name of a cell whose name is Diego Damuna. Just to really make sure that it's true, let me go to my database. This is the database. I'm going to open this table called cells and see the number of the record that are inside. It's only this guy here. All right. But truly speaking, I don't want this guy to be one of the cells. So actually, we can leave this one as one of the cells. I don't see anything bad with that. All right. So I keep it as it is. Let's say this guy is the cell, as you can see. So it's working, huh? So the code that we just put works because we managed to find this guy here. So let's now go put a code that will deal with the name of the technician, right? So I close here. I have to create a method also. That method, I'll say private void. I'll call it field combo technician. All right, field combo technician. All right, field combo technician. Curly brackets. And then we start wasting time. Let me load this method here. Once the form is loaded, let me paste here. So I have to put some code here for me to be able to load the details from the table called technician to the combo box for that will be handling the technician. So which one is for technician? Let me look for combo box of technician here. Is this one. So this is the code that will help me to pull out the informations from the table called technician and get them back here on this combo box. So I paste it. All right. Something is wrong here. Check here. All right, there's something that's okay. I think it should be fine after that. What is this technician here? Actually, I did not get it right. This is how it should be. I think it's gonna be fine afterward. Yeah, it is. It is fine. So here, this code, I'm just telling the soft. I mean the Visual Studio that I want you to get the name of the technicians and send them into the combo box code CMD technician. Right? Let me start the software. I'm waiting for it to load. Then they say system invalids operation exception. The connection was not found. The connection's current state is open. So it means the connection's current state is open. So which means this code is not correct. So I have to get it fixed. After making use of this combo box here, the one for cells, we just use it, but we did not close the connection. You see? So that is why it's saying that the connection was not closed. So the connection that was not closed, they are actually referring to the previous code here. We just opened the connection here for cells, but we did not close it. And since the connection can only be open one at a time, so there was no way for us to open the connection for this other combo box. That's where the mistake is coming from. So let me correct it. How do I correct it? I do I correct it? I just have to close the connection here. I'll say yon dot close semicolon. All right. So once the connection is closed here, that's when I'll be able now to reopen again the connection for this combo box. Let me try this time if it's going to work. All right, it's working, but now it catches another mistake because this column names does not exist. I put an extra letter Let me remove it because it's named without S. Okay, start. This time around is going to work. It is going to work. All right. So now we have been able to load. Let me check the name for the technician. All right. So I have to check my. You can see it's not populating with technician's name, so which means I have to check my load form. The way I make use of this method here. Let me check on the loading events. My column. Actually, let me go to technician if there's any technician here on my database. Let me check. Yeah, there is Diego. So I should call it. Still not. Let me check the way I spell my combo box here. That might be the cause. So I go back to job card and I select this technician here. Combo box for technician. Let me check the way I name it. So it's CMD technician. I was making a mistake using another combo box instead. This is the one. Alright, CMD technician. This time around is going to work. So it's nice to make mistakes. That's how we learn then. Let me go to technician. Bingo, we're able. But now you can see there's a repetition of names. So I made, when I was creating this form, Diego as one of the cells and then technician. So I have to get it fixed because one person cannot be at the same time cell and technician. So where is this mistake coming from? The mistake is coming from this code here. Let me go back to, alright, so on this combo box here, this combo box that should be populated with the name of the technician. Instead of me calling the technicians from the table code or name technicians, I'm now calling the technicians from the table named employee. That is why it's getting me all the names that are inside employee table. That's a mistake. So let me correct it. I go to the database. This is how I name the database. This is how I name this table. Okay, I'm going to copy it and come here, correct it. So from the table called technician, then it's gonna give me the name from that table. All right. As for now, I know there's only one name. So I think this mistake should be corrected so far. Let me just confirm. We go to the technician. There we go. There's no more that's two names. All right. So for now, we are able to get the name of the sales technician. Let now get named the name for the items. Let me check. Is there any data in items or is it table? All right, items. Yeah, there is something there. So we're supposed to be able to get this data here. Let me get back here. Then I launch the software. Go to cells. I select one. Sorry, I select one cell, and then technician. Select one. Designation should call from the item. It's not calling, so which means you have to code to put some code so that this combo box can be populated with the informations from the table called technician. All right, we'll do that. Let's go for consumables. So we also have to put some code for this part here so we can pull all the data from the table called consumables. First of all, let me go for technician for designation. So we're going to deal with the data from the table called items. So I'm going to load this first combo box here. And then I come to this place here. Let me create a method. All right, this method. Actually, let me take it as it is. So should be doing like this. I copy all this code, then I'm going to paste it here. Yeah, this time around it's fine. Right? So I'm going to make use of all the designations from the table called items. So let me make use of this method here on my loading events. Let me try to click. I'll see if you will be able to call to make use of the items that we just created here. So you can see we have been able to load all these combo box here with the items that we created. You can see. All right. So all these combo box are now loaded with the items. So far, we've loaded the combo box for cells. We've loaded the combo box for the items. We also load the combo box for the technician. Let's now go for loading the combo box that will deal with the consumables. All right. Go put the code with the code that will be dealing with the combo box for the consumables. So that is also easy. I got the code already here which I created. So this is the combo box. Let me just copy it like this as it is. Then come back here. I'm going to create a method for that. I paste it here. So this method here going to help us with getting the code for the consumables that are inside the database from the table called unnamed consumables. All right, from this table here. I'm going to get this table. As for now, it's empty. I already put the code, a method that I created. Let me now go make the use of this method on the loading event, and then I have to put some data there inside that table, because that table for now it's empty. So which table? The table that deals with this form here, consumables. All right. So let me get it start first. Then I'm gonna put some data is there. I start it. Consumables. All right. So the code is bio. Okay. And the designation it's a bio RDM. It's 20 rands. Let's say 10 rands. I go to save. The second one, AC. That stands for AC 44. How much? 23 rands. The third one, I'll say SRT. STR stand for Sterigel. How much? Let's say 40 rands. Right. So we created some consumables. Let's now get back to our job code. Where is job code here? Okay. Let it run first. Then I click on start. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So we start with cells, select cells, technician, the designation. You're right. We're just going to make something here. Let's say okay. Then consumables. We have been able now to see the code for the consumables. But as for now, we can't fetch. Why? Because we have to put a code here that will be generating that will pull the data from the database from the table called consumables. And once you click on search based on this code, It's going to populate this area here with the value for this particular consumables. So let's go for it. We're going to put a code that will do the searching button here. And I have that code already. And let me get back to my um, the form job card. I click on this button here. So here I'm going to paste the code that will do the search of I'm going to put the source code here that will do the search of consumables from our database. I have that those code already. The source code, I have them here. Fetching button. Just scroll down there. This one is a field combo. No, I have it already. I'm looking for searching button. Actually, where is it? All right, here it is. So I'll come from here. Take this. Let me paste it. Let me just comment this line here. It's not useful for now. Make it useful. Use of it later. And then after we've done that, we have to refresh our combo box. All right. So this is the meaning of this line here, of this code here. Let me go then execute. Then I come on, select cell technician, the designation, and consumables, for instance. I check there, it gives us the details, bio. All right, so we are getting there. We are getting there. All right, we are actually getting there. We are getting there. So we are definitely getting there. And then the schedule time here, we can manually type it, for instance. Schedule time, we can manually typing. The schedule date, we can pick up from the calendar here. All right. So we can pick up from the calendar any date we can choose, and all right. And then the name here is the name that we have to type for the customer. Let's say this customer is Kevin Masamba. This is his cell phone number and fixed number, email address, blah blah blah. Let's say Kevin at gmail.com. So don't mind, never mind about this stuff here. These two I'm going to explain to you later the use of them. And then physical address, blah blah blah, comment for the job, blah blah blah, and then the job card description, blah blah blah. So for now, we were supposed to be able to save these informations because we got the sales representative's name, the schedule time, the schedule dates, the name of the customer, her fixed number, her cell phone number, her email address, the name of the technician. These are the items that need to be cleaned at her house. She also wanted one of the consumables. This consumable is called BioRedeem. It's 10 rand per, per unit. Let's say 2 units will equal 20, but here is not giving us a total. Why? Because we did not do the calculation yet. So we have to go for the calculation. And after we've done all those calculations, what do we have to do? We must be able to save the information into the database by clicking on save here. But we can see, as for now, we can't save. Why? Because we did not put any code that handles this button here. So after you've been able to fill these informations from these things here, to fill out our form with the information, we have to save them. So let's go for coding the button that will be saving the information. We're going to save them by using this button here, right? So let me just go copy. So all these code here are for saving button. So I'll take it from here. all the way down. It's got a long list of our code. There, come here. I'm going to copy it. Just going to paste it because all these components here. This is how I name them, so you can easily see the way I name them. Okay, just a bit of explanation for this code. So once you click on the saving button, we open the connection and we're going to insert into the table called job card. What are we going? This is the table. Let me close this stuff here. I'm going to show you the table. So this is the table. Remember, we just created the table already. So this is the table that we're going to insert into data that will come from this form here. All right. So once you click on save button, you got this code here which will help us to insert into table code job card. You're going to save that code, date, schedule, schedule time, schedule time, name, telephone, cell phone, mail, quantity. These are the details. These informations are the ones that are on this form here. All right. So we're going to save them into the database. So this is just the meaning of this line here. But as for the way I named this component here, you can just see, for instance, if I get back here, this is quantity 1, quantity 2, quantity 3. These are the text box. So you can see this is how I name them if you want to refer. All right. This is how I name them. Let's try to save because we already put the code there. I click on start, waiting while it is polling. All right. So sales representative, it's Martial. The time, let's say 10 o'clock. The date, we want it to be Saturday the 26th of February. Name of the customer, let's say Kevin. I'll put capital letters. Kevin Masamba. Telephone number, email address, let's say Kevin. I like this name at gmail.com. Technician is Diego. Designation, lose carpet, and just going to this one. We can also leave it like this, it's fine. And then consumables, she said no, she wants a one Sterigel or one Sterigel, but let's go for searching. So this is Sterigel, and then her address, she stays in Belgium, for instance. Let's say just Belgium. Comment, no comment. A job description, the job is must be done. Sorry, the job must be done. I'm not good with typing in a proper way. I'm not good with typing. Me, I'm not that fast. All right. Anyway, that doesn't matter. In a proper way, right? So we have to try to click on save. As you can see, we have been able to save the data into our database because this zone here has been empty. So let's go stage if really we manage to save the data, the information that we just put here into our database. All right. So let me close here, kind of refreshing it. The table is job code. I go to here. There we go. So we just created our first job card with all these informations here. Remember all these guys here. All right. So this is the stuff that we just created for our job card. That is good. That is good. So we are really getting there. It has been a very long um, program, but we are getting there. Surely, slowly, but we are definitely getting there. So up to now, we've been able to insert the data, the information from this form into our database. But there's something missing that we need to get fixed. Let me open. It's about the job code. So this job code here, they will be dealing with money. It's not only about getting appointment to a customer, right? So there must be money for items that they are selling, and there has to be a total. If there is discount, there must be displayed here. But so far we don't have it. We don't have them. So we need to get them fixed. That is, we now have to start the mathematics or the calculation for this job, for this job code to be done in a nice way. So once we selected an item here, we have to specify the quantity of that items. Let's say, for instance, we say, okay, in that customer's house, you're going to clean a carpet. I mean, carpet. How many? This is the quantity. If it's 12 carpets, we must know the amount per unit for that carpet, and then the total. Let's say if you're going to clean 12 carpets, how much per unit, and then the total of those carpets must appear here. That should be the same for the second items, and so forth and so on. You see, so once we click on total, we must found the total of the amount of the customer must pay. And let's say the customer also decided to buy some consumables from our company, so we have to find the total here. Let's say we also, because after the customer has begged us that if it's possible, we need to give her some discounts. I already put them here: 10%, 15%, or 20%, 30%, or zero as discounts. So we need to calculate all those things. And after we found a total that the customer must pay us, that is when we will be able to save the job code. All right. So let's get back here, open one more time our tables. Sorry, our table. You can see this is the first job card, JC01. Let's get back to the software. The software tells us that, you know what, you just created a first table, but I mean a first job card, but you know what, there's a number that is waiting for you to be given. That number will be given to the second job card. That's why it says JC02. So this is the second job card. All right. So before saving that second job card, let's do the calculation. So we're going to calculate to find the total for a particular job card, and that is when we will be able to save those informations. So these informations here are not full, are not completely correct, because there are some of the things that are missing here. Some of the things that are missing here. All right? But we're going to keep it for now. We have to adjust it. We have to update it. All right? But before updating it, we have to update it first. But before updating it, let's try to code this button here, the searching button, which will pull the information from the database and send them back on our form so that we can do the update. So after managing to save the information, let's go for update, and then we will do the total. All right. So I click on update button here. I have already the code for the update. I'm just going to fetch it and paste it. You'll see the reason why I prefer to do the updating after saving, after inserting information into our database. So where are the code for the updating here? This is for delete. All right, this is for updating. I'm just going to copy it as it is, and then I'll paste it there. There we go. I copy it. Update button. Then I paste it. So we already put the code, but something is wrong. Oh, I'm just going to comment them for now. Let me comment them. So here we are updating. This code is only for updates. You can see here, it's for updating. After you realize that the information into our database needs to be fixed, then we can make use of this code, of this form, of this button here. With this code here will help us doing the updates. But before updating, we have to display the data on our form. That is, we must display the data on our form based on the code that is associated to a job card. So for now, I have to put the codes, the source code that will be loading this combo box here with the code of the job card. And after we click on search, this button here will go through the database, look for every information that is associated with the number of this job card, and those information will be displayed back here on this form. All right, so let me go for putting some code for the searching button here. So I'm going to, but actually before putting the code for searching button, let me load this combo box with the code from the database. So those code will come from the table code job card. All right, I'm referring to this code here. As for now, it's only one. If it was 10, all of them, they should be populated on our combo box. So let's go for loading this combo box. I've already created a code for this one. I've already created a method for this combo box here to be loaded with data. I'm just going to look for it and paste it. So this is authentication. No, I don't want that. I'm looking for a combo box for the code to search. All right, so this is the one. All right, I'm referring to this stuff here. I mean, just copy it. I'm going to copy it. All right. And I come to searching button here. I double click on it. Just paste it. Let me save it. So something is wrong here. It's correct. All right, I have to add one curly bracket here. All right, fine. So this is the meaning of this code here. But as for now, if I can launch and try to select a code, nothing is going to happen because we did not load our combo box with any code yet. You see, there's nothing here. So let's load this combo box first. I'm going to stop the software. Let me get back for the code. Remember, already make a code for that combo box to be loaded. I created already a method. We just go look for it. Where is it? Alright, so this is the one. This code here is to populate our combo box with the code from the table code job card. So let me just copy it. So I'm creating I'm actually creating a method to populate our my combo box with data from the database. I'll paste it here, and then after pasting it, sorry, must not be there. It has to be here. All right. Has to be here. So I'll copy this method that I just created. I'll go to the loading page, the loading event of my page. Where is it? Must be one of the first code. There it is. So I'm going to paste it here. So here I'm telling the software that what just After that, the form has been loaded. I need this line also here to be loaded, to be executed. So I'm going to refresh my combo box. Let me start. Then I come to my combo box. Where is it here? You can see now our combo box is loaded with data. As for now, it's only one code. Let me go to the database. It's only one code for now. So we have been able to retrieve it from our database. So it is here. Let me go to search through it. I search the information related to this code. Bingo! As you can see, the data are now back. Data now are back on our form. So you see, for now, we managed to search through a code to get the informations that are inside the database. We got them back here. And then for now, we can do some updates. So let's try to do some update here. Let's say the customer did not order a Sterigel, but she ordered bio. It stands for bio redeem. All right, so we have to correct it. We have to change from Sterigel to bio redeem. Let's go to update. You see, it disappeared. All right, it disappeared. Let's change. Let's check if that information is changed from being from Sterigel to bio redeem. As such, we see it's no longer Sterigel. It's become bio redeem. Insertion button is working, updating is working, fetching the informations from the database and getting them back on our form, it's also working. So far, we can now go do the calculation. We can now go do the calculation, all right? So let's go for it then. So for the calculation, we need the calculation to be done, the maths to be done by clicking on this button here, total button. So once we click here, we will find the total of this zone here, plus if we manage to sell some consumables, and again, if we give some discount to the customer. So by clicking on total, we're going to get the value here, which will be added to decide if we have some data, and it's going to give us subtotal. If we gave discount to the customer, if there is tax that is applied for that particular job, and also we have to find the amount of discounts that we have given to the customer. After that, there will be the total invoice. So all these informations, all these operations will be done once we click only one time here on total. Then it's going to do all the calculation. So for now, we're going to put the code that will deal with the calculation of total. All right. So let me get the source code that to do the calculation. I have them already. I'm just going to copy and paste them. I call that button total. I may look for it then. Um, Here it is. So I'm going to copy it and then paste it there. It's a long list, but definitely I'm going to explain to you how it works. Okay, copy it. Let me now paste it. It's a very long list, but it's worth it. So this code here are the one that will help us dealing with the calculation. But you can see already it's underlining this stuff here. It says the name taught4 does not exist in this current context. Why? These are variables that we converted for them to be double, because at start they are string, but since we are dealing with mathematics, we can't calculate by having some string. So we need things to be double or decimal or integer or float. These are the things that we need to do so that we can be able to do the calculation. But that means that we have to convert this one. But before converting them, we must declare them as variable up there. Since we did not declare them yet, that is the reason why they are giving these errors here. So to get them fixed, I'll do this. I'll get back to where I put my code. Just going to select them. Here they are. I copy them. Then I'm going to paste them. I want them to be general throughout the program, so it's here below public partial classes. That's why I'm going to paste it. If I paste them, you can see those things, they are gone, so they are no longer underlining this here, this code here with red lines. So don't worry, I'm going to explain to you all these lines here so you can understand how it's going to work. All right, so let me explain to you. These lines here, we are telling the compiler that we need .1, .2, .3 up to .6 to be double, because we are doing the calculation. So how do you understand by .1, .2 up to .6? Let's get back to the interface, to our form. We are actually referring to these guys here. So let's say for this particular product, after we selected, let's say it's a loose carpet, and then the customer decided to have 10 of them. One loose carpet is 10 rand. So 10 loose carpets times 10, it has to be 100 rand. So this is the first total. That is the meaning of .1. And then it goes on for the second total, the third total, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth one. So that's why you can see .1, .2, .3, up to .6. We need them to be double. So we have already declared them so we can make use of them. All right. So that is the meaning of the stored here. Where are them? Here. All right. No, here. Wanted to say. And then let me now go on explaining to you how this software is going to work, how this button is going to work, the total button. So once you click on total button, if it happens that text 1 is empty, by text 1 I am referring to this one, this text box here, because this is about calculation. We cannot calculate something that is empty. It has to be 0 or 9. I mean from 0 to 9, that we're going to make calculation. But if you leave it, and if you just leave it blank like this and then you don't put any condition, once you click on the total button, the software is going to crash because it does not recognize that string. It has to be either integer, decimal, float, or double. Right? So to avoid the software crashing for the fact of not putting any value here, and then you decide to click on total, that is the reason why I put this condition here. All right. So the condition says that if text 1, which is for instance this one, if you click on the total button and it happened to be that this text box does not have any value, what is going to happen? The software is going to attribute, is going to give the 0 to that text box, because it's possible to do the calculation with 0 than with nothing. You see, so it's going to say 0 here, it's going to write 0 here, and it is also going to write 0 on this amount 1 here. You're going to put also a 0 here, and also it's going to put a total 1. It's going to give this 0 also to tot 1. Why is tot 1? Is this one. So once there is nothing here on this line here, on this first line, and then you decide to click on 0, automatically the machine, the computer is going to give 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. And when you click on 0, if it happened to be that it's only here where you selected an item and then you put nothing, so it's normal, there will be zeros everywhere. So it's possible to deal with 0 than to deal with nothing. So that is the reason being of this line here. So same apply for all this stuff from designation 1 to designation 6, from quantity 1 to 6, from amount 1 to 6, from tot 1 to 6. So this is the reason being of this code here. That is if only these zone here, they don't have any value, and then you decide to click on total button. But if there is some information on them, what is going to happen? This is now else is going to be applied. But if it happens to be that you put some data here, you put data here, and then you click on total, what is going to happen? This is what is going to happen. Quantity 1, we have to convert it because obviously it's going to be a string. We have to convert it from string to double. This is quantity 1. It's going to become double. Same apply for quantity 2, quantity 4, up to quantity 6. All right. So here we are telling the computer that we need these ones to become double so we can make use of them, because you can only deal with, especially when it comes to mathematics, it has to be double, it has to be float, decimal, integer. That's why you can be able to do mathematics. If it's not those, if it's not having those value, let's say it's a string, it's totally impossible. We're not going to be able to deal with those. All right. So that is the meaning of declaring this stuff here. We want them to be double. Same apply for amount 1 up to amount 6. All right. We have to declare them here first so we can be able to manipulate them down. So this is the meaning of these lines here. So let's now go down. So once it appears that the informations that you entered here are correct, they are not empty, and they are converted into double, what is going to happen? It's this other condition here. This is for the consumables. Let me get back to the form here. So once you click on total, if it happens to be that here you did not put anything on the quantity because you can't deal with nothing, what is going to happen? The computer is going to attribute or is going to give a 0 value to the text box for quantity and also to the text box for unit price. So we are referring to this side here. If you click on total, then there is nothing here because you cannot deal with nothing. The software is going to give total here, total here. It's going to give 0 here and 0 here. Then we can deal with 0. We can calculate zeros instead of nothing. So that is the meaning of this line here. All right. Let's go to the next line. So this line here, these guys here, we are calculating something here. We are calculating the consumables. Let's say a customer decided to buy some consumables. How do we get those values? Well, we have to do this by clicking on total. We must multiply the quantity of that particular consumables times to the price, times to the unit price of that product. Let's say he bought one product, all right? But the unit price of that product is 20. So which means he's going to pay 20. 20 rand. But if you decided to buy 10 products, 10 items, and the per unit price of that product is 20 rand, that means that you must pay 200 rand. So you're going to take 20 times 10, then it's going to give us 200 rand. So the line that does the calculation is this line here. It is this line here for consumables. All right. All right, good. Now we come uh to you can see the explanation here says that this code calculates the total of different total amounts. I am talking about here. Let's say the first uh, item here equals 100 rands. The second item here equals 200 rands. And the third one equals 4 and so forth. So to find the total of these, we have to use this line here. All right. I mean, I'm not talking about finding the total. To make use of the zone here, we have to dedicate them as being double, and then once they are double, that is when we can multiply them. So it's going to be quantity times the amounts. Once we get the total of consumables and the total of the zone here, that is going to give us now the subtotal. All right, these are the entry of datas. And then afterward, we have to calculate the discount. I'll show you how we do the discount. So the discount might be, let me just click here. You're going to see the discount. The discount might be 10%, 50%, 15%, 20%, 30%, or 0. So you see how the calculation are done. All right, you're going to see how it works. But I'm just giving you an overview of the discount. So let's go for the discount. As you can see here, it says that the following lines calculate the discount. So how do we calculate the discount? Well, the discount, it will take the subtotal, which is here. This is subtotal. So subtotal, we're going to multiply it by discount. But the discount itself, why do we get the discount? Well, we get the value of the discount from the text from the combo box. Which combo box is this one? This combo box here. All right, let's try to open that discount. You see, this is the combo box for discount. It's got these different values for the discount. All right, so we're going to pull from this combo box the value for discount in terms of percentage. All right, so to get the discount, you have to take the subtotal times, or we're going to multiply it by the discount, and the discount is the value that comes from the combo box. Okay, once we did that, then we're going to get the discount, and discount will be displayed on this text box here. Once it displays on this text box, then we can make use of it. How do we make use of it? Well, we're going to make use of it with this last line here. So the comment says that the following lines calculate the total of the invoice. So total of the invoice will be the subtotal, which is this, minus the discount. After we did that, that is when we're going to be able to calculate the total invoice. So let me get back on form. So total invoice here, this is total invoice. Total invoice equals subtotal minus discount. That is why when it's going to give us the total of the invoice. So let me go on creating another I'm just going to create I'm just going to create quickly another job card, and you will see all the calculation how it goes. So This obviously is going to be the second job card. It's gonna have this code or this number, this ID number JC02. All right. So let me just explain it. All right. So I'm going to select the name of the cells. Let's say Martial. The time that the job must be done. Let's say 11 o'clock. Let's keep it 11 o'clock. Dates. Let's choose 25th of February. The name of the customer. I'm going to say Gertrude Damuna. Her fixed number, then cell phone number, email, let's say Gertrude at gmail.com. Who's the name of the technician is going to go do the job there? It's Diego Damuna for now because there's only one technician. And the items that are going to be cleaned at her place, it's let's say office chairs. How many? 12. How much per unit? 50 rand. But by the way, I have to after this one I'm going to put code so that we don't type the price of the items anymore. So once we select an item, we just specify the quantity of that item. Automatically is going this combo box is going to give us the unit price of that item instead of us typing, because in our database we have already items with the unit price. But I have to put some code so that we can, by selecting an item and leaving this combo box, is going to automatically give us the unit price of that item. But as for now, let me carry on putting the value of that item or the unit price. So it's gonna be office chair, 12 office chairs, and 50 rand per unit. So second item, let's say loose carpet. How many? 2 loose carpet, 350 per loose carpet. The third item, carpets, let's say 5 area, 200 is too small, let's say 400 per area. And then curtain, how many curtain? 3, 300 per curtain. The fifth one, leather couches. How many leather couches? 5. How many pay? I mean, the unit price of one leather couch, it's expensive, one of the expensive stuff, let's say 600 rand. And lastly, let's say cushions. How many cushions? 10. Uh, unit price for that, let's say 50 rand. Sorry. Okay, for consumables, the customer decided to buy this one. Okay, what is this? It's AC44, quantity 10. All right. So unit price of AC44 is 23 rand. So the customer decided to get 10 items. And all right, let's put the address of the customer. Let's say 233 Roomty Road, Centurion. Right, comments or no comments for now. Description, I'll say just good customer, right? Good customer. Cool. So for now, you have to click on total to find the total. There we go. So we see that the customer has to pay 7,930 rand. All right, so this is the money that the customer has to pay to the business, to the company before the job is done. But now, if let's say that the customer asks us to give some discounts. So how do we give discount to the customer? How do we give discount to the customer? So we can select discounts. It's either we give the customer 10%, 15%, or 20%, or 30%. All right. But let's say we're going to give the customer only 10% discounts. Then you have to click again on total to found. You see, by click on total after selecting a discount, we realize that by selecting 10%, we can see that 10% of 7,930 rand is 793 rand. So it's all about this amount divided by 10. So that is the equivalence of 10%. Then it gives us this one. All right. But look at here. The customer was supposed to pay. This is the money that the customer was supposed to pay. The subtotal. She or he was supposed to pay. Well, this is a woman. She was supposed to pay 7,930 rand, but by giving a discount of 10%, which equals 793 rands, so we realize that the customer now will only pay 7,137 rand instead of 7,930 rand. So you can see that the software is working properly, is working nice. But let's say that instead of giving the customer 10%, we decided to give a 15%. So you select 15% in terms of discount, you click on total, you see, so the amount of discount goes up, the subtotal which the customer is supposed to pay goes down, because then you take the subtotal, you minus amount of discount, and then you are left with this total invoice here. So let's say that it's fine. We decided to give 15% to this customer. So it's fine. We click on save. Look at here. It's no longer JC02. It went to JC03, saying that the incrementation of the auto ID has been done properly without any problem. But let's now go search for that customer that we just created. So I have to, sorry. So you can see that after we've created a new customer, we are not able to see the code that belongs to this customer here right away, just because we forgot to refresh this combo box. Okay, we're gonna do the refresh later, but let's stop the software and start one more time, because you need to verify if you've managed to save the second customer. I mean, I'm talking about the second combo box, the second job card, sorry. So when we click here, and then we can see the second customer. So we have to make this combo box in such a way that whenever we do the insertion of the informations using these windows to the database, this combo box has to be refreshed. All right, but as for now, let's just select this, and then if you click on search, we can see this is the customer that we just created for this job card, and all the details, even the discounts that we gave to the customer, and then the amount that she has paid, and this is the amount that she was supposed to pay before discount. So we can also do the update here. We can, let's say that 15% is too much. Let's reduce it to 10%. 10%. When we calculate, we'll see that the amount of discount goes down, and the total invoice tried to, went a little bit higher than it was before. So click on updates. We can see that. Oh yeah, you can see. Okay. If we search here, can you see? So this information has been updated. So up to now, we've managed to find the total, to save the information, and to to update. So now we are left with canceling. That's the meaning of clearing all the zone here, so that can be left with nothing. And we also left with the deleting button, and then you will do the button that helps us to quit the software, and the button that will help us to get back to menu. So we are left with these three buttons here. But before going for that, let's now get back to what I said, because For now, if I select an item, I put a unit, I put the quantity of that item, we cannot see the unit price of that item, but there is a unit price of that item into the database. So we have to do some code here so that we can be able to see unit price right after selecting an item, before even putting quantity that we need for that item. How do we go for that? Well, it's easy. Let me close here. So I'm going to use what we call in C# leave events. That is, let me, that is, that is uh, if you select an item, let's say if you select this item, and once you leave this place, it is going to give the value or the unit price of this item. So that is what I'm about to do now, just to make things easy. All right, so I'll close it. Let me select one, this combo box here. This is the first one. So I came to the events. I will select the events code leave, the event that is named leave. Or is it? This is the one. All right, so I'm going to double click on it. So it gives me uh, this code here. It says private void cm-1, which stands for combo box destination 1, which is the first combo box, not destination but destination, combo box destination 1, which is the first combo box, and leave. So that means that if I click on that combo box and then I select an item, and if this combo box loses the cursor, what is going to happen? So it's going to pull out the informations from the database, that is getting the price for that particular item, and then it's going to send the price of that item onto the onto the window. So it's gonna put that price here, that unit price here. All right. Okay. So this is the combo box I'm referring to. Let me go get the source code for it. I already created it. This one is underlined. Let me try to quickly create a PDF document, which is very clean and neat. Uh, Sorry for this inconvenience. All right. I'm going to use the PDF. Where is it? I think here it is. All right, so let me go down there because I just put it down. Cool. I'm referring to this code here. All right, so I'm just going to select the code. I copy it. Then I go back to my Visual Studio. Sorry. All right, so right here. Just copy it like this. So this is for combo box 1. Let me do for the rest of combo box to make things fast. So this is for the second combo box for designation. So the second combo box, I click it, then I go back to Visual Studio. Let me get back to my form. Then I select second combo box. I come to events, property, but I'm going to select events. The event that I'm working with here is leave. So this is the leave event. And then I'm going to paste for the second combo box. Let me go take the third one because it's going to be 6 of them. All right. This is the third one. So I'm going to try to make it a bit fast because it's the same procedure. Third combo box. Okay. I'm selecting leave event. Where is it? Here it is. Just going to paste it. Now fourth combo box. All right. All right, this was the third, so I'm going to get for the fourth one. Get back to the window and then I select the fourth one. Okay, the event is leave. Just going to paste it. Let me go for the fifth combo box. Get back to Windows. Let me select the fifth one. Here it is, and the event is there. Leave. All right. Then I'll paste it. Okay, let me go to the last combo box here. Here's the last combo box. Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, this is the last combo box. The events. All right, this is the events. Which one? Leave. And I paste it. Okay, let me save. Let me now launch. I'm going to launch. So I launch my software. We're going to test what we just did now. We're going to see if the combo box is going to be able to, by selecting an item before even putting the quantity of that item is going, if it's going to be able to give us the unit price of that item. So I select this office chair. Once I leave this combo box, can you see it automatically gave the unit price. Sorry, there was a mistake because I just did something stupid. Let me correct it. But you can see that is working. So I select first item. Let's say now loose carpet. Once I leave that, it gives automatically the unit price for loose carpet. All right, let's say it's 3 loose carpet. So I'm going to the second designation. Let's go for mattress. Once I leave that, automatically it gives this value, this unit price here. So I don't have to type it anymore. So this will allow me to to uh, to get this text box here not, I mean, to get them not accessible, so we don't forge anything, you know, so we don't cheat anything here. I'm going to close them so that we don't, for now I'm able to modify, but I'm gonna make it, I'm going to use the enable property to get it false so that I don't get access to it while this form is loaded. Right, so it's working. Let's go for the third one, curtain. It gives us automatically the unit price for that curtain. So you see now we are getting now things fast because now the combo box is giving us. All right, so this was just a demo. So we finished with this combo box. Now after you've done with this combo box, the next thing to do is to put the delete button, and then you will do the menu. Menu can even be the last one, but after deleting button we'll do the button that helps us to quit the software. All right, so I'll just leave it. All right, let me go get actually let me go back to the form, then I double click on delete, and I'm going to take the code for delete button. Delete button, this is the code for delete button. Let me copy it. All right, delete button is here. I'm just going to paste it. So here we are deleting every information from the database that belong to a certain code. All right, that is that. So here, what is this? Oh, we don't use it. Let me just comment it. Okay, this one I also have to comment it. We'll make use of it later. All right, so let me launch the software. I'm going to try to delete Actually, before doing that, I wanted to refresh. Uh, Let me get back. Remember, after we've saved, after we've inserted a job card, we were not able right away to see the code for that job card. So that means that after saving the job card, we did not refresh this combo box. So let me refresh this combo box here, right? Okay, how do I refresh it? Well, that's very easy. Let me do this. I go to load events. All right, so it's just this combo box here, this one. So let me go where the method has been created. Let me look for the method for this combo box here. So we're going to copy it and paste it after we've updated. All right, so here it is. I'm going to copy this method here, then get back to the form update. Okay. All right, actually it was already here. Let me do this. Okay, so after we update it, we're going to be able to see the data into our database in real time. All right, so let me go to start, and then I'm going to try to delete one of the job card. So let me select the second job card. Actually, the third one. Is there any third one? All right, so I'm going to delete this third job card. I click on delete here. Can you see? Let me try to look for it. It's no longer there. It's no longer there. It's no longer there. So the deleting button is working properly. Let's go for the button that helps us to quit the software. That is one of the easiest thing because it's only a very short line. So here I would say this dot close and semicolon. All right. So I start one more time just to check for the last time if everything is correct here. Yeah, it seems like everything is correct. But let me go on now, closing this text box here so that we don't get access to it if the software is loaded. All right. So I do this. I can select all of them at the same time. 6. Let me look for enabled. Going to select them to false. Is it possible for all this stuff here? Just looking for enabled property. Yeah, false. All right. So I start. All right. Only by looking at, you can see we can't access this text box anymore after the job card or the form is loaded. So here we cannot touch, we cannot access it. Here we cannot access it either because it's going to calculate automatically. Even unit price here, let me also close here. Let me also close the access for this unit price here, just for security purpose, so that no one can cheat because he has to be automatic. Where is enabled? Enabled. I'm looking for enabled here. Where is it? All right. All right, there it is, false. I start. So we can see here, we can only select the code, and then it gives us the definition of that item or the designation of that item, and we can only put the unit, I mean the quantity. As for the unit, we cannot access it. It's closed. Same apply for this zone here. We can only select an item, and then automatically it gives us the unit price for that item. There's no way for us to modify it. Then we can just put the quantity. See, now we are getting fast. There's no there's I mean, we are no longer using time. We are no longer wasting time by typing a lot of data, a lot of things, by typing so many things, because the software now has been optimized. All right. So it's fine. Seems like everything is working perfectly here on this page. So we can leave. So the next thing to do is after you've managed to create a job card, then because these guys are working in a company, we have to do, let me just try to launch the software, the one that is working properly already. Sorry. So far we managed to create the form for the job card. We also managed to create form that will handle the items. We also managed to create form for consumables. We also managed to create form for technicians. We created also form for new users. We did create for sales. So up to now, these are the forms that we created already. So these forms here have allowed us to get new users, new employee, and also we managed to get the job card form. So we've created so many forms already. So we can be able to create a job card, to get items, to create new users, to specify which one is technician within the business and which one can be sales. But now there are a few things that are left that we need to fix. That is the loan for workers. So people who are working would like to make some loan within the business. How do we go for that? Well, next step, we'll build a, an interface or a form that will be dealing with the loan. So this form will be called loan management. All right. This is how it's gonna be. For instance, if someone, let's say this worker here decided to get a loan for 1,500 rands, then he said he's gonna pay over 2 months. Once we click on calculate, so we can see that every month this worker must pay 750. So we have now to create this form here. Not only that, we have to go for the payroll, because if someone made a loan, then we have to, I'm gonna get, okay, let me just quit. So it was a demo. What I was showing here, it was just a demo. So next step, we're going to build the form that will be handling the loan, and the form that will help us to make the payroll. And then after being able to create those forms, that is when we're going to start now doing what we call the reports or the printing. So let's go for it.